right, so for the hatchery, when you're going to get ready to do a new hatch, you will look at your bottle and you'll see if it has kind of this reddish, cloudy look to it. That's a sign that it's possibly a good hatch. And usually your brine will hatch anywhere from 16 to 36 hours. We want the temperature to be somewhere between 72 and 80 degrees. So I do keep this floating. It just sits right on the edge right here. And that I can see right now we're at just about 79 degrees. And the way I regulate it is I go, okay, well 79 is a little warm. I just move it a little bit away from the light. Literally, I just move it a couple inches. And that's all I do to kind of regulate temperature. We don't want it going over 80. 80 will hatch them quickly, which is awesome. It also will kill them and fry them as soon as they're hatched. So you'll get a full hatch and they'll all be dead. So just try to keep it under 80 is your goal, but not lower than 70. If you have it at around 70, it will take a little longer to hatch. It might take more like a day and a half. So this one is looking half hatched. This one looks a little more hatched. So what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to turn off my valve so that the air supply is cut off. You can see now the bubbles have stopped. I'm going to take out my air hose. I just set it right here in the sink. Just kind of hangs there. And I take my thermometer and just set that aside. And now what I'm going to do is I want to be able to keep track of, okay, is there anything live going on here? So what I do is I put a sleeve over it, and the sleeve makes the top part of this black. And the brine shrimp do not like darkness, they like light. So what I do is I pull out my little gooseneck lamp just for a moment like this, and I stick the lamp right under my trap door over here, and I provide light just to the bottom. So I'm just gonna slip this in, and you'll see I'm gonna put it right under here. I put the light right up to it. Don't put the light anywhere close to the white because it will melt it. You'll see some spots where it's already melted. And now what it's doing is all of the live brine are gonna be drawn to the light. So they're coming down to the very bottom, and the darkness is where they're trying to get away from. So it's dark up top, bright on the bottom. All right, then I head over and I'm going to get my brine. So come with me. We keep brine in the fridge, so let me show you where that is. I usually keep it right here in the refrigerator. Make sure you close the door. Bring it out. There's a tiny little cup. And usually I would wait a long time, like not a long time, maybe 15 minutes for the light to draw them to the bottom. But since right now I'm a little crushed for time, I'm just gonna suck up a tiny bit from the bottom and put it in my Petri dish just to see if I have a hatch. And so I put some in my little dish. I'm gonna look under the microscope, and I have about, let's see, I'm about 70% hatched. And that's just a rough estimate, but I can tell you, when you look at this, you can look at the eggs compared to the brine, and you can see approximately what your hatch is. So that's actually pretty good for this setup. And then I usually just kind of dump this back in because we'll use that brine later. And then to harvest, I do the same thing that I would have done before. I'm going to squeeze my bulb, go to the bottom, suck up usually just one vial worth. I like to put my finger over the tip. Do you see all of that bright brown? That is all living organisms. You can see them actually swimming in the tube. So they're really moving around. So I'm going to filter it. And this is actually fresh salt water, so I'm going to put it over my tank to replenish. But take a quick look. You can see how much is in there. Look at all that. I gently rinse, and I'm going to go drop that off. And there we go. We just drop it off, and the babies are going to be very happy to see that kind of food. That's a lot of food. And I'm going to kind of spread it around a little bit. All right, and in the next video, I'll be showing you how to set up the nursery and the hatchery to get this going so that you actually can hatch your next round of brine shrimp. But for now, see you later.